Hey guys, massive news today in the markets that could change everything for the next few weeks to months. I'm going to go ahead and break it down in this video, as well as tell you how I'm going to trade it, because there could be a potential big dip coming. And I'm going to tell you exactly where I think that is and how to go ahead and look at the financial markets here for the next coming week. So I'll break it all down for you. If you want to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet, because there's a lot of good information in these videos that I break down each and every week. But let's go ahead, break down Bitcoin, break down what's to come for crypto. And the big news today is actually that Fed Chair Powell signals possible rate cuts today at Jackson Hole. Now, why is this a big deal? Because just 2 days ago, the Federal Reserve actually discussed how inflation was a big problem. Now, I even shared on this in a video that the Fed FOMC minutes actually were quite hawkish, but they may be out of date. And I said that how, again, inflation was the #1 priority, but what happened since then was that unemployment rates skyrocketed in the United States. Now, regardless of where you live in the world, I know some of you live in Asia, Europe, and North America, the United States government and the Federal Reserve will always have impact on crypto and the global economy. So it's a massive deal regardless of where you live. And the job market is hurting in the US. And Powell actually went on to discuss in his speech how that was a priority potentially moving forward. Now, how does that change for you and me? That's because CPI and inflation was the main factor when it comes to the markets. Now we are shifting more into the job data. So you have to understand, as I highlighted right here, job reports will dictate rate cuts going forward. So when job data comes out, the non-farm payrolls and that sort of thing, you have to pay attention and be ready for either a move up or pullback based on that data. So if you get anything out of this video, I want you to understand that moving forward, job data is what matters even more than CPI data that we've been watching very closely. Now, as you can see on this chart, we've already seen that the probability of rate cuts went from 100% all the way down to 70%. And today, after his speech, it pumped back up to 90%, currently sitting at 85%, but still it's up 15% higher for the probability of Fed rate cuts in September. And again, why is that a big deal? It's really good because the fact that when lower rates allows people to borrow more money. When people borrow more money, they can buy more assets such as Bitcoin, crypto, and stocks, and that pushes up prices. So that's always a good situation. Now, as we can go ahead and see with Bitcoin, the daily chart has looked fantastic. I covered this chart and I did discuss how we could potentially sweep the high, sweep the low, and that's what we did. We went down as low as 112 here, just slightly under. Now we're potentially pumping back up, hopefully back over 120. But as I said in the prior video, the key level that you need to watch, if you've not yet watched that, is this 116 to 117K area. And I did discuss that on previous videos. If we can break above this, it's going to be a key for Bitcoin to continue to rally on. And so that is where we are currently at, as you can notice right here at this key level. If it breaks back down to around 116, that's totally fine. What I want to see is price maybe go sideways here and then further up. That's a very healthy pullback for Bitcoin and for crypto if that happens. Now, the problem is this: if it sweeps above this level and starts to break back down, that's really bad. Now, we don't want to see that happen, and I don't foresee that it's going to happen because the stock market's already towards all-time highs and things are skyrocketing. But it's very healthy to have a pullback in the market. Now, after Bitcoin pumped from 112 up to 117, you have to expect pullbacks are going to happen. So that's how I'm trading this as well too. If you did not get in the market prior to these pumps, you want to wait to buy the pullbacks. That's going to be very important, and I'll break that down for you in other charts as well. Now, besides Bitcoin, Ethereum has been very strong. As you can see here, the all-time high is at 4,870. It is right below that level after pumping from 4,200 up to 4,800. a slight big pullback. If there is a pullback whatsoever, I do expect to be a buyer here at this 46.50 level if it does pull back to this range. Now, one thing that can happen typically for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and major crypto assets is a lot of times they do like to break all-time highs, but you'll notice that soon after they break back down, okay? So that's another thing to watch. If it does break all-time highs above 5,000, that is a key level for a lot of people to take profit. When they take profits, price pulls back, and you want to make sure to buy those pullbacks. If price does break above that 5,000, I'll bid a little bit at 4,800. I'll bid a little bit at 46.50 if it does break down here. But if you did miss that pump, just understand that is a potential buying spot here for Ethereum. Now, Solana is in the same area. Now, I've already written here some potential factors for Solana, and it's sloppy, but if you zoom out, you're going to notice that this area is where we want to see Solana break above, and that is at 198. Okay, so it's ranging now between 195 and 198. I was already writing this down for you guys to see, but basically this is the key resistance area for Solana that's been both support and resistance. We want to see this level break. If it doesn't break, this green line here around 190, 189 would be probably a better area to buy the pullback. But if price can, again, as I drew earlier, can break above this and you can't catch that here, always the retest of the level is a great place to buy. So understanding that as the price breaks out above 200, watch for potential pullbacks because the market will pull back. We'll see potentially a great buying opportunity for Solana too if it can pull back here to 197. Now, the same thing with Chainlink. As I've written here in the previous videos, higher highs, higher lows. If you have not seen those videos, you can go ahead and click below and watch those. I did give an alert on my last video of potential lows and highs of different assets, but bottom line, Chainlink looks phenomenal. Higher highs, another higher low. Is this going to be a potential higher high? If that's the case, watch for Chainlink to continue to move on up. And if it does pull back, it did hit $28, a breakdown to around 26 or 25. These areas would, again, anywhere in here is probably a good place to buy. Hopefully it doesn't continue to break on down, but could potentially happen. If it does continue to follow this trend line right here, I'm certainly going to be a buyer anywhere between 25 to 26. So Chainlink is one of the strongest assets right now. So just understand that. Ethereum and altcoins in general are outperforming Bitcoin. Always have Bitcoin, always have long-term hold of Bitcoin, DCAN, but it's always important too, if you're looking to make the most profits, get the most gains, altcoins can tend to provide those better than anything else. So that's, again, why I'm a fan of trading these majors that actually look really strong, Ethereum, Solana, and Chainlink. And now going back to Solana, a big reason that I think it can continue to do really well is because there's already rumors about treasuries for Solana. Much how you saw with Ethereum, how it ran up and did a 2 to 3x. Great potential for Solana. Make sure that if you're exposed to crypto asset majors, Solana is probably one of those that I would want to be exposed to, especially if they start news with potential treasuries to buy up more Solana long term. So that's another one that I'm watching. But as we look at the forecast overall for Bitcoin and Ethereum, we do know that Q3, Q4 can be really good at times, but August and September tend to be those pullback times. Now, as I said earlier, where do I think we'll pull back for Bitcoin? Now, as I said, that FOMC is something that everybody is watching for those Fed rate cuts. It's priced in, meaning that we're going to see prices push up prior to that. It's a sell the news event, very likely. So what I think is on September 15th, 16th, 17th, in the middle of September, I do foresee that the rate cuts are very well going to happen, and then it's going to be a sell the news event because news that everybody already knows isn't news anymore. It's you buy the rumor, you sell the news. So right now, there's a rumor of rate cuts, and that's why you saw the market push up as high as it did. And that's why people are buying into assets now. They know and they think that it will continue to run up here over the next month. But historically, Bitcoin has broken down in the September month most of the time. So again, I think we'll see the same thing. And into an August that's green, early September green, and then we'll see maybe a violent pullback in September going into early October, and then green again in October, November. So big gains, but potential big pullback ahead. And that's how I'm playing it as a sell the news event. I'm buying, I'm selling, and then buying the dip after FOMC here in mid-September. So if you want to know my game plan, that's it. Get in assets now. Watch for those pullbacks at key support levels as I showed you on the majors. Get in those, ride those up higher, and then sell the news when it comes to FOMC around 15th, 16th, 17th of September. So that's how I'm playing it right now. Every day and every week changes with crypto. It's a very fast-moving market. And just yesterday, I had to give you guys alerts for where to potentially buy lower, where to potentially watch for if the market does crash. But I also gave higher targets as well. You have to always be fluid and play both sides of the pump and the dump, because the fact is nobody knows what's going to happen. But I think it's very a positive thing that we're for certain that rate cuts are coming in September. So it's smart and wise to hopefully play the market like that, as we see stocks are just under all-time highs. So again, stock market looks strong, Bitcoin looks strong, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana look even stronger with potential new all-time highs for Ethereum. Be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for these dips and potential buying opportunities. That's where you want to get in if you've not gotten in yet. So guys, if you think that this is helpful, make sure that you share this video with a friend. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel as well. And make sure that you click on the like button and leave a comment below. I'm also giving live streams here every week now when it comes to streaming live on the crypto market. That is during Eastern Standard Time around noon. And so if you do miss those, don't worry. I'm going to actually put those up on the channel so that you can watch later on for real live updates. With that said, guys, that's the big news today. FOMC meeting minutes no longer in play. We're now looking at potential rate cuts here in September. So if you missed the pump, I don't think you need to worry, because as always, we're going to have pullbacks in the market. So make sure that you play those dips the right way. And I'll certainly be back for more updates on the crypto market soon. But you guys have a great day, trade safe, and I will see you on the next one.